It's late July, which means it's exactly a year since we started digging our off-grid water reservoir. There's no access to mains water here, so we collect and filter rainwater. Last year, after 3 months of no rain, we ran out of water. To make sure it never happened again, we dug and lined a large pond, which would act as a water reservoir. Over the winter months, the pond filled, and this has transformed our off-grid homestead. We've been able to grow more food and keep more livestock. The final part of the pond's construction is the jetty, a little luxury that we added to make sure the pond was more than just water storage. We're now about to finish it, and we'll finally be able to enjoy what we've created.
So since last time when we had all that really wet weather, we've had some weeks of really dry weather, which has been good. It's been more like the time of year. But our boards, because I haven't managed to get round to doing what I was supposed to do, get on with the jetty for a week, the boards have all curled up. Quite surprised they've curled up like a witch's toe now, considering they've been sitting on a deck for years. You'd have thought they'd have settled, but they haven't. But I suppose because it was wet and now it's been dry, they've curled. So I'm going to be forcing boards back into shape today.
In the end, the boards went down okay, using cheap spacers which we got from Amazon. Once the boards were down, the children were keen to try them out. Despite our best efforts, the boot couldn't be recovered.
There's been so many times when I've found I need a net, trying to get a rabbit out of a polytunnel, trying to catch a chicken to have for dinner, trying to get these pieces of wood out of this pond, or even a boot that's sunk to the bottom. This year has been an amazing year for plums. So good in fact that my sister was able to join us and take a basket home to make her own jam. Yeah.
Mummy, can I eat this one? Can I eat this one? Hi. Can I eat this one?
Yes.
This one?
You keep eating them all. There'll be none for jam.
I mean, if we'd have thought about this, we probably could have put a sheet down.
That would have been
Maybe
the
that's the way to do it next time. Here's a big
Yeah.
white sheet.
None of the plums went to waste, as anything that was bruised could be fed to the chickens. We removed the stones, cooked the plums, added sugar and a pinch of cinnamon, and then, once it was ready, jarred it up. We've made 20 jars of plum jam this year.
As well as doing projects like the jetty and growing food, we also have to maintain what we've already got. This is our track, and by this time of year it's usually overgrown and scratching our vehicles. This might look like a quick job, but in reality it takes hours, and there's always extra maintenance every week, like putting chamomile on my legs after I've run up and down this track for hours on end. So early this year, when we were filling our vegetable beds up with rotted wood chip which turned to soil, we were using this area here, and what happened was we found hatched snake eggs, and they looked like some sort of fungus growing, like little white things. But this year, after just seeing a grass snake only 3 days ago, came up here and something's dug her eggs up. So we've got her eggs at here, so they've had live snake in them. Some of them have been squashed, but you can still feel they're squishy with something in. But she basically lays her eggs at the side here, and the sun's on here in the morning, keeps this nice and warm in the wood chip, keeps things nice and warm when it's breaking down, and she's been incubating her eggs in the wood chip. There's a lot of grass snakes down here. Last year we stepped over a couple within the space of about 5 or 10 minutes. You get that warm, moist day. They come out, and that sort of leads back into the pond really, because the pond is really liked by grass snakes because they have all sorts of amphibians. You've got sorts of newts and frogs and toads. I piled this wood chip up the other day, and the kids have been running up and down it like on a sled. That is actually red hot in there. Okay, so that is steam that's coming off of there. It's too wet to catch fire. Maybe some of this dries and I'm not sure how it would, but it's soaking, but it's hot. I mean, if I put my hand in there, it'll burn my hand. He tries it. Yeah, it's hot. It's very hot. You couldn't put your hand in there. You'd burn your hand. So I suppose if it's dry stuff gets on it and then it lights. But this could be something to keep stuff heated fairly cheaply. You know, we could perhaps heat a polytunnel, heat our homes, pole this stuff up, and people have tubing in there with a little 12-volt pump, pumping the water around inside, and that comes out hot enough to heat things, run a bath and all sorts of things. People have kept their jacuzzis hot by using the wood chip like that. So it's a surprising amount of heat that comes off of that wood chip, and she knows, the snake knows where to put that, obviously on the edge of the mound where it doesn't get too hot, in order to incubate her eggs. It's quite ingenious really that she knows where the temperature is going to be good to do that.
Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger each year. Look how we hold on through the toughest of times. We still stand strong. Through pavement we will grow. Forever we will grow.
Being fully off-grid can be complicated. People often assume it's the solar power system that's the biggest challenge, but because of our location, it's been water which has been the hardest obstacle to overcome. Now that it's sorted, we can start to look to the future, knowing that whatever we do next will be built on the strong foundations of our off-grid setup.